Hello and welcome to my channel on human design. Thank you everyone who liked and shared my last video. It reached very high levels of views and I'm very happy with that. Thank you. And it's encouraged me. It's encouraged me to keep to the theme of transits and to reward you for watching me by passing over a few secrets and something that you can use in your own life to get perspective of what's happening and what's happened to you. What we're going to do now is to go into the anatomy of a moment. There are certain things that happen to us in our life, certain encounters, certain incidences that change us, and they change us forever. And with the aid of human design, one can go back and have a look and see what happened. So I'm going to use a point in time in my own life to give you a clear example, and also to answer another question from a viewer that said, Richard, what happens when you have in the transit field a channel that you already have? Does it help you? Is it advantageous? And my answer to that was, well, not always. It is the essence of what it is. And if you've got it, then you've got that, but it's not necessarily going to be in alignment with what you've got. So I give that as a little preamble because now we're going to go into it. Let me describe the scene. Now, for those regulars who like to watch my videos, I've shared various things about my life. And I've already shared the time when me and my partner wanted to get out of London and we didn't know where to go. And we ended up in Wiltshire due to a range of circumstances that were completely unexpected. So there we are, we're in a hamlet in Wiltshire, not really knowing what to do to make a living. We had about enough rent to pay for 6 months on the house left and no way of making an income. We were so relieved to get out of London, we were wandering around, and it was one of those days, you know, when we were aware of it being a special day coming up. And that day arrived, it was the day of the harmonic convergence. And we wandered up to Clay Hill, which was nearest to us, a mound where various extraordinary things had happened in the past. We went up there, we bumped into some people that said there's something happening in Glastonbury. And off we went to be part of something, to feel we needed to be included in something. We didn't know where we were going. We had escaped, but we had no direction of what to do. It's a situation that everyone finds themselves in sooner or later. You know, which direction do I go in? So there we were on Glastonbury tour, and there were hundreds of people there sitting around waiting for something to happen. This was a time that had appeared in the prophecies, and there were, you know, New Age people there and students and Californians with their crystals all in white and prayers being said and children running around and dogs barking. And the night went on and the early morning came up, and this was the time, and we were all waiting. We didn't know what we were waiting for. We didn't know what it would look like. All that we knew were that a lot of people had gathered for this moment on this sacred site. It's something very strong in the pagan spirit that's in all those from England and Europe, indeed. So we were waiting, and it got cold. And in the early hours of the morning, we decided, well, you know, it's a watery dawn, nothing much is happening. We'd been charged up by the energies around us. We were tired, we were hungry, and we walked down the hill. And we began to pick up the rubbish as we went. People had left things around. And a little old lady came up to me. She said, well, what are you doing? I just said, you know, we're picking up rubbish. And she goes, oh, no, not our people. And that was the spark that broke everything for us. Because suddenly we realized that there were an our people that we felt connected to, and they felt connected to everyone else around them. So it sparked everything off, And it was at that moment that I suddenly knew this is what we should do. We should make a magazine. And even the name came in, the name of Kindred Spirit came in. I thought, that's what we're going to do. Like, it was a mad idea. We had so little money. We had no experience in making a magazine, but I was certain that that was the way forward. Now we come to the present moment. Let's take that time when that woman spoke to me and broke everything apart, and it became what we actually did. It became the change from, you know, scrabbling around trying to earn a living to actually being involved in something that we were making our own unique contribution to the world. It was that turning point that helped us both spiritually and materially and experientially in every way I can possibly say. It was the vehicle from which I met human design, after all. So what happened at that moment? What was going on? We can do a chart of the time. This is the chart of the time. When you're doing a reading for a moment, forget about the red. It's just the black that you're looking at. And here we can see it's part of the cross of revolution. Perfect. But let's go deeply into the magic of it. Let's see what's involved. First thing you see is that the channel of discovery is there. The sacral and the G are connected, nothing else. And this is the energy for life itself. This is the energy to really commit to an experience, no matter where it may go. The unknown and the unexpected are linked in this channel. It's also known in the 46th gate as being in the right place at the right time. There's a certain serendipity that is with the energy of this channel. And this is the channel that was basically programming all of us. Being in the right place at the right time with the energy for life to go on a journey of discovery. Now, I've already got that in my own chart, not in the same lines, but I've got that. It's aligned to the way that I live my life. You know, let's see what happens. Let's jump into it and we'll learn as we go and we'll find out what it was all about afterwards. The third gate is also there in the line of charisma, in the fourth line in Jupiter. So Jupiter is an expansive energy. And there was this energy that nurtures psychic attunement. I'll read it to you. Innate quality, which attracts valued guidance. That's the first thing. Psychic attunement that magnetizes nurturing. A psychic energy which attracts nourishment and ensures ordering. There was a fixed order in the background field. You know, my own third gate is in the third line, which is particularly chaotic and really looking for what's fertile, looking for the new that's really opens people out. But this was a framework. This is the fourth line. So charisma is there, mutation is there, a new order is there in Jupiter. The other power there was also the fifth gate. Now, the fifth gate is like a pattern. It's like we could talk about it as being part of a rhythm, fixing the rhythm. And here again in Saturn, so fixing the rhythm. The fifth gate looks towards the 15, and the 15 is the gate of extremes. I'm going to be doing something on that in the next video. But basically, it's also something that brings one into a fixed pattern. It's an energy to kind of fix things in an orderly way, to provide the structure necessary upon which to build an administration, upon which to bring a logic to the energy of newness that was there. The 25 is also there in the gene, and the 25 is the gate of innocence. It is the gate of that gets shocked by the 51. I often think about it in the shamanistic jump to a new dimension. And indeed, this shock had happened. Energy was running through me of this is what we're going to do. You know, it just seemed so clear to me without any particular reason at that point. This is a magic moment. A magic moment amplifies everything. Doesn't have to, you don't have to understand what's going on. You're living it. And in this particular line, it's in the line of ignorance. It's basically the innocence that doesn't really know what's happening. You know, it's beyond the shock in a way. It's already been mutated. It's already arrived. It just hasn't caught up with itself, if you want to put it that way. So that's going on energetically. Now, the main thing that you see in this chart is you'll see that the fourth gate in the Sun and in Mercury and in Venus is there 3 times. So from the transit field, we were picking up the answers, the formula, the plan. It was like suddenly this could be an answer. We could bring everyone together as we'd gathered on Glastonbury Tour within the framework of a magazine that would contain all the things that we're mutually interested in to help go towards a better future. It was a plan. Now, I have the 63rd gate, and that's something that is kind of looking for the plan. It's in an open ajna, and it's saying, well, what is the plan for the future? And suddenly I'm in this excited, elevated, energetic that is open to the receiving the plan. And there it is, 3 times, 3 different ways. Now, if you look at my partner's chart, Patricia, she has the 1762. She also has a 4th gate, but now it's like it's all lined up. She's the one that can put out the plan, can see what stages need to be set. And all this was going on as we were walking down. We're getting very animated in talking about how the hell we're going to do it and what we could do, you know, how we could work within the limitations that we had to make this thing happen. The energy to make something happen was there. We're both generators. We'd come to a place where we couldn't see the future. And suddenly, in this moment, a plan arose, a sudden knowing that this was going to happen. We didn't know how. We had to talk it through. It was the commitment to talking it through. It was commitment to following the plan a step at a time that really took us both over. In the 20th gate, in line 5, in the moon, this is the 20th gate is a gate of contemplation. It is a gate of unique expression. And it's also the only 5th line that I have in my chart, also 20, line 5. It's in the line of realism. So it's the ability to really see through everything that's going on that there is a future that's both practical and radical, but it could happen. In fact, there's a kind of when you've got it connected, as I do, to the 57, there are times when I'm moving through life and I just see something and know what's going to happen. It has this is the brainwave channel. So an alignment in future manifestation was in the background field as well, directly in alignment with my own chart. If we look to the spleen side, there's only 1 gate there. And this is so beautiful. I mean, there is such a magic in human design. But this is the 28-6 in Pluto, in the transformative planetary influence. We have the game player. We have the risk taker. We have the risk taker in the way that can be very dangerous. It has a certain self-destructive side to it in its detriment of self-destruction. It's like, you take the risk, you know, even if you're going to die, it's worth taking the risk because it's your on purpose. On that moment, it was exalted only. The game was indeed on, and we both knew it. We just didn't know where it was going to take us. It was that energy to take the risk. If you look at Patricia's chart, you'll see she has the 38th gate, the opening to be able to connect to the 28. And I have the whole channel of struggle. So, you know, bring on the impossibilities. And if I can get my teeth into it, we're going to have a good chance. So it was this incredible lineup that happened. The other thing to look at, Patricia has the 19, and the only gate in the emotional system was the 49. Now, this is like when 19s are in your chart, it's really wanting to be of service, the need to be of service, the need to be appreciated by the powers, if I put it that way. And indeed, the powers were locking directly into her at that time. The other thing of note in the transit chart is the 58-2 is there in Neptune. Now, the 58-2 I like to call natural joy. You know, it can get out of hand because it really does like to have a good time. I have the same thing in my chart as well. And in Neptune, it's about what's behind the veil. It's sometimes seen in a spiritual way. But the 58-2 is really something that, an aspect that really wants to improve things, that wants the joy of being of service, that will help everyone. And that also comes in on the same day. So we were really being bombarded by energies that fit with us both and put us into the process of really going for it in a way that we couldn't possibly have imagined. If you look at my chart from the root to the sacral, you'll see that the 52 is something, this is stillness, this is inaction, the pressure to be inactive before you make the move, before you find the right focus. It's something that Patricia has in her chart. So we already had that. The missing format gate is the 53. And this is the gate of beginning something, beginning a process, beginning a project or whatever. And then you look at it, when you look at the two of us together, what was really needed was something to come in and light that fire, you know, put the on switch, you know, start it off. And it came from the environment. It came from the moment and the circumstances as they unfolded before us. Isn't that amazing? The other gate to look at is the 11th gate in the Ajna. So the 11th gate is a gate of endless ideas and diversity, philosophical ideas, ideas that bring hope to people. And again, it's something that I am always looking for because of the 56 in my earth. So an alignment there. Suddenly, you know, how to get the ideas into a stimulating aspect that people will want to read, will want to look at, you know, the stories to be told. I mean, it's all built in. So it's a kind of a clunk, clunk, click, you know, and bang, this happened. You know, it took time, of course, but the energy was initiated. The mutation happened in that moment. This story also contains another thing to contemplate. You know, we are so busy trying to go for what we want and manifest this and manifest that. But, you know, there are times when you just need to stop. You know, there are times when something needs to come to you before there is a response if you're a generator. And you don't know what it is. But if you're just correct and you follow your energy, you end up being in the right place at the right time. So I invite you, viewers, to think about times, if you've got the exact timing, of moments that have been really transformational for you. Have a look at the chart, ponder it, think about exactly what was going on at that time and see it in the chart. And there's a lot of magic to be found here. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. And if you did, please like and share and subscribe. And I will see you very soon with something completely different. Bye for now.